Welcome to the Website Success Show, the podcast dedicated to helping women in business make the most of the content they're already creating so they can get more traffic and sales through their website with less reliance on social media and paid ads. I'm Jules White, the founder of the Website Success Hub, and I love helping course creators, podcasters, and business owners make more money through their existing website. If you have a business you love but you don't love the way your website performs, then this is the show for you.
Good morning. Happy Friday. So I've got a question for you this morning, which is your website a barren wasteland or a fruitful and blooming garden that everyone admires? Most likely it's somewhere in between. So last week on the podcast, I talked about my pathway to website success. And I've been working on something over the last couple of days to help people understand in a fun way where they are on the pathway. So this is going to be great for my website. It's going to help me to get more visitors, more interaction on my website, and more potential customers onto my email list as well. So today I'm going to talk about quiz funnels. So before we start talking about quiz funnels, I'm going to talk about what is a funnel. So just so that we're all at sort of the same point, really, just in case you've heard about funnels and you're not really sure exactly what they are. So a funnel is essentially a way to guide people step by step on a journey to making a purchase from you. So we tend to have, if you think of it like a funnel, we have the top of the funnel. This is where people may not even know that they've got a problem or they've got something that they need. So you help them to become aware of this problem, or that you help them to become aware of why it's a problem. So you get lots of people in at the top of that funnel, and then you get to the middle of the funnel, which is where people start to look for a solution to their problem and explore different options. And there's going to be less people. Once you get to that point in the funnel, then it's going to be less people there. So think about it like a water funnel. It brings it down into one point at the bottom. And then the bottom of the funnel is where they are close to making a decision and they're ready to choose the best solution for their problem, to solve their problem, which could be your product or your service or something in your business that will help them. So with funnels, people don't necessarily come into our business that way now. So they don't necessarily come in at the top, go through the stages and then buy from us. People come in, and especially with social media and with just the way we consume content now is different. So people come in and they swirl around our world often, and they might follow us or listen to our content for years before that, or for a long time, certainly, before they actually make a decision to buy from us. Funnels aren't necessarily that sort of linear journey that they used to be, but it helps us. It helps us when we're creating content to be able to understand where they are in their journey to us as their solution to their problem, really. But essentially, it's all about each stage helping people become closer to actually making a decision to buy from you. So that's what a funnel is. So what is a quiz funnel? So a quiz funnel is essentially a form or a survey on your website that asks people questions. And we've all taken like personality quizzes, that, those things like, what type of friend are you? If you were a dog breed, what breed would you be? What season matches your personality? Those kind of sort of fun, interactive personality quizzes. We've all taken them at some point, often in magazines years ago. But the idea is that they are fun and they're informative, and they help you to either make a decision or help you to understand something about your personality and understand something about yourself, essentially. So then after the people have gone through and answered the questions, then it guides them to a result at the end, and it puts them into a category. So in business, it's kind of gamifying our marketing strategy, really. They're really, really powerful and a really fun and engaging way to grow our website traffic and to grow our email list as well. And ultimately to make more sales. That's the goal with any kind of marketing funnel, is to make more sales in the end. So why would you want to use a quiz funnel? Quiz funnels can have a much higher conversion rate. They reckon they can have up to a 40% higher conversion rate than just a normal lead capture form. So just a normal freebie opt-in, those kind of things. And it makes sense, really. If you're delivering something that's more interactive, more personalized, more fun, then it's more likely that people are actually going to go through that and spend some time going through and actually then becoming a member of our email list as well. We all like distractions. We all like fun things to do. And I think this is a really good way to sort of capitalize on that, really, and just make the most of it. It helps you to engage with your audience. So they are highly interactive because you deliver them so the questions come up one after another and they feel very interactive. People choose an answer. And so it's not just like circling a box in a magazine where you then see whether it says mostly A's, mostly B's, those kind of things. You're actually ticking the box, you're going through and you're looking at this engaging quiz that's going to help you, or this is the person using it, it's going to help to keep them engaged. So it also captures their attention and it gets their curiosity piqued at the beginning because they don't know what the answers are going to be. They don't know what the results from the quiz are going to be when they start doing the quiz. So that's where it actually helps to keep them engaged and gets that curiosity going with them, really. It encourages them to interact on your website and encourages them to participate in the quiz. So it encourages them to stay on your website for longer and to interact with your website. And it feels really personalized. The experience for them can feel very, very personalized. Even if you know that you only have 5 questions and 4 answers for each, and then 3 potential outcomes. For the person that's actually taking that quiz, it feels like it's something that they are actually getting something just for them as well, really. So it really, the fact that somebody is then spending that time on your website and it's increasing that what we call dwell time on your website. So it's increasing the length of time that people are spending on your website page is really, really good for SEO. So that sends signals to Google that your website is engaging, that your website has got good content on it and that people like to spend a good amount of time on there. So it is really powerful for SEO as well, for multiple reasons, which I'll come on to in a minute. It can really be good for helping you to get leads in your business. That's the whole point of a quiz funnel, is that it's generating leads. You're basically getting people on your email list. And in exchange for that valuable information or that fun quiz, then you're exchanging that for their email addresses, really. It helps you to understand the people that are coming into your business, whether they are genuine leads as well. So it can really help if you find that you get loads of people signing up for your email list who aren't really your target audience or aren't at the point where they're ready to sort of buy from you. And they're going to need a lot of nurturing before they get to the point where they are ready to buy, then this can really help you to make sure that the people that are coming in are the right kind of people. And you can then segment your email list so that you are delivering and you're focusing your efforts and focusing your attention on those people who are at the right point to buy from you. So that's, I think, the biggest thing, other than the SEO benefits of the quizzes and the fact that it increases that interaction on your website, the fact that it allows you to understand more about those people who are signing up to your email list and to send them very targeted information is the most powerful part of quiz funnels, really. And it also it's helping you to build your email list as well. And that's one of the really important things, is if those people are in our CRM, in our client relationship manager, they're in our email list, they're there in our database, then we can interact with those people in all sorts of different ways in the future. And we can really nurture that relationship with them. And it helps them to come in with a better feeling coming into our email list. And they're more likely to be receptive to our marketing efforts in the future as well. It also helps us to understand our audience as well. So it helps us to segment them. So based on what answers they choose will help us to understand how far down that funnel they are, really. And it helps us to learn about their problems and their pain points and what they're interested in, what they like, what they don't like. And depending on what questions you ask, then you can get some really great information about what the majority of your qualified audience actually does want to hear and need to hear from you as well before they make a decision to buy. So it really can help you to understand them better and then to be a lot more strategic about what content you create as well. So you can then think about what gaps there are in both your content and in your paid offers. As people are actually answering those questions, you can then see, even as you're building the quiz out, it helps you to understand what's missing from the information you have available to deliver with those quiz results and with the marketing campaigns that follow behind them. So it collects their email address. We can split that into segments, and then we can make sure that the marketing emails that we send out afterwards meets them exactly where they are and delivers what they need to then understand more about us and understand why we're the perfect solution to their problem, really. So it helps us to guide the audience to the right information at the right time, to answer questions, overcome potential objections as well. And that's one of the big things, especially with online business where you are trying to sell with e-commerce businesses, you're trying to sell through your website. If you can overcome and even discovering what those objections are that people have and help to overcome that and reassure them within your marketing efforts and within the emails that you're sending out, then that's a massive win for your business. If you can get people past their objections before they even get on a call with you or before they start emailing you or they just drop off of your funnel entirely, then that's going to massively increase your conversion rates. You can also use it to directly send people to specific products and services as well that will actually solve their problems. As much as you can have like soft call to actions at the end of your quiz within the results page, you can lead them into more of a nurturing time with you. You can also use it to deliver specific products. So, for example, if you've created a quiz around, if you're a skincare clinic and you've created a quiz around how to create your perfect skincare routine or something like that, you could actually have that delivering right there in the results page some personalized recommendations for them from the products that you sell. So it can be really, really powerful to help them just to even be at that point where they're ready to make a purchase as well. And ultimately, this is all about increasing sales. So everything we're doing with our marketing and our business is trying to make more sales. So it helps you to make the most of the content that you've got on your website and in your marketing as well. It just helps you to make the most of that and make it more likely that you are going to generate those sales off the back of any marketing that you do. So yeah, everything that we've talked about, all the things of building your audience, connecting with people right at that right moment is all about increasing sales in your business. So let's talk about the SEO benefits of quiz funnels. It helps with content creation. One of the big things with websites is it's important to be creating and updating your content. So we don't have to, when we first start out on our pathway to a website success, we maybe haven't got that much content on our website, or we certainly haven't had a strategic plan about the kind of content to create. So it helps you to ensure that the content that's on your website is fresh, is engaging, is up to date as well. By creating a quiz, it can not only then guide you on what's missing from your website, but the quiz itself also then can be updated regularly to show Google that your website is fresh and is up to date. And you can incorporate keywords as well. So this is a really good thing with quizzes. You can build out pages that incorporate the keywords that people are likely to be asking in those questions. So if you've got questions that you're asking people through the quiz, you can put your keywords in there and you could then create blog posts and things around the topics of each question, each answer, that those keywords can then bring people into your website as well. So I think it's certainly on that first page where you're introducing the quiz, you can get some fantastic keywords in there in relation to what's going to bring people into your business at that right moment where they are searching for something that relates to your quiz and they need some more information or need some help making a decision on what to do and how to solve that problem, really. You can create both blog posts, you can create podcast episodes around all of the topics. So each question could be its own topic that you can then create blog posts and podcasts around. So you then become more of an authority around those topics as well. And also each of the outcomes. So I'm going to come to the structure of quizzes in a moment, but basically you end up with a certain amount of outcomes at the end. So the results that they're going to get, and maybe that's 3 different types of result that they would get. But each of those could then become a really strong blog post on your website that you can then send them to. So once they've gone through their quiz and they've got the results, you could then send them to that blog post for them to be able to understand more about the result, to understand more about themselves if it relates to that, or if it's then specific products that it relates to, and you've got blog articles that are around that too, then it's all about basically delivering that more value and more information when they get to the end of the quiz. So that's going to be really, really helpful, really good for SEO if you can create that targeted content that has the keywords built in, is going to make a massive difference. And what you can also do then is build internal links. So you can build links throughout your website that will help you to link your content together, which is really, really critical. I talked about understanding your core topics in episode 9 of the podcast, which is all about making sure that you understand what are the key things you need to be talking about in your business. So you could create blogs around that and then link to different other blogs as well but also have that linking to your quiz. So somebody types something into Google, they've got a problem that they type something into Google and it leads them into one of your blog posts. They're reading through the blog post, and then you can then take our quiz to find out more, or take our quiz to help you solve your problem, essentially. And that can then, again, it keeps them on your website for a lot longer, keeps them engaged with your content a lot longer, and then hopefully makes them more likely to sign up for your email list than just a free PDF or something like that was attached to the blog, or them just reading the blog and then disappearing off. It's builds ways of building those internal links in your content. So not only those pages linking together, but also encouraging people then to stay there longer and to engage with your content a lot more. And also you can build backlinks as well. So all types of links are really important for SEO, but backlinks are really, really important because they help Google to understand that other sites see your site as an authority. So if you've got a fantastic quiz and you're promoting it in different places, you can promote it on social media even as well if you are using social media for your business. Sharing your quiz in different places can help then to bring those links into your website. And you'll find as your quiz gains popularity, then people will share it as well. So you can encourage people who've taken the quiz to share it on social media. People will do that, especially with personality type quizzes. Maybe people would be more inclined to do that. Share it with friends, but also though anywhere where they are sharing it, then that will help to build those links coming into your website as well. And you could even look for sites where there's the potential, if your quiz would help somebody's audience and they haven't got a quiz that helps their audience do that. So maybe somebody who's got a slightly related topic, or if you've done a guest blog post or a podcast guest, you could then link to your quiz as a way to then bring those people into your world from wherever people are linking from, really. And I think it gives a really good first impression. So if your quiz is the first thing that somebody interacts with in your business, it's the first freebie that they sign up for, it's how they get on your email list, it's the first real interaction that they have with your business. And you can make that first interaction a fun and a positive experience for them, then what a great way to set yourself off on a really good footing with that potential client and that lead. And if you can follow that up with some really good nurture sequences, then it's a really, really good way to very quickly take somebody from a cold lead who knows nothing about you, doesn't have any trust in what you do because they don't know you, to actually becoming very quickly a warm lead who knows that you're an authority, knows you know what you're talking about, and is much more likely then to buy from you at some point. It signals as well to the search engines that basically your website is valuable. So you are delivering valuable content because people are coming to your website and they're staying there, interacting with your site and enjoying your content, essentially. And the other thing it can help with is research and strategy. So if you're thinking about SEO and you're thinking about trying to build that authority, trying to know what content to create on your website, trying to understand those core topics and understand what's missing from your content in both your paid offers and your free offers as well. So what informational queries do you not have any content around? What paid offers do you not have anything to be able to offer people? So for each of those segments that you get to at the end of your quiz, you should have something to be able to offer to them, ideally something free and something paid. So the something free will help them to build that trust and build that authority with them. And then the paid offer is that goal of actually making more sales through your business. And that could even be something simple as a template or as a ebook or something like that. That doesn't have to be a high ticket offer on each of those stages, but somebody just coming in at that very, very top level of the funnel, if you can get them to spend a small amount of money with you and build that trust, then they're much more likely then to spend more money with you in the future. And it's all about that research, that strategy. It's all about building that authority around the topic. Your quiz is going to be around the topic of your business, around what you sell, and helping people to understand more about that and understand more about why you're that authority. And this is all about that. And with SEO, authority is so important, and also the entertainment value as well. So Google wants to see content that's entertaining, you've got expertise, it's authoritative and trustworthy. I was trying to think what the T was. and it's trustworthy. So this is all helping with that as well, by people coming to your website and enjoying it, interacting with it. Then there's so much potential, both from an SEO point of view and from a conversion rate optimization point of view as well. There's so much that quizzes can help with that as well. How do quiz funnels work? Essentially, first of all, there's an introduction. So we have some kind of engaging headline or a question or something to get them curious when they come in and they see that quiz page, whether it is on a whole page dedicated to the quiz or if it's just a pop-up that comes up. And they're going to understand very quickly that this is going to provide them with something fun or some information, give them something personalized, like a skincare plan or a discount code, or maybe like a personalized checklist. But essentially, it's going to grab their attention and make them want to take this quiz. So they go through and they fill out the questions. It's always good to start with easy questions. So don't start with what's your email, because people aren't going to do that. If you've got to build that trust from going through the questions, that trust and also that interest, and keeping it so people do want to give you their email address at the end because they want to get the answers. They want to know what their results are. So you're building that trust with each question. You're building that trust. You're keeping it engaging. Keep it short as well. So we all have terrible attention spans now. So if it's a quiz that takes longer than 10 minutes to do, people realistically aren't going to do it. I don't think I would do one that was longer than 5 minutes realistically. So they reckon that the ideal quiz length is between 4 and 7 questions. I think that sounds good. I think, yeah, once you get to more than sort of 7 questions, then I think even 7 questions feels like quite a lot. If you're then including also giving their email address as well, I think that can feel like it's just going on a bit too much, really. It is quite good to let people know where they are in the quiz as well. So if you've got 5 questions in your quiz, then have question 1 marked as 1 of 5. So people know how long it's going to take them roughly. And you could even have that on the sign up page if this is roughly how long the quiz will take you to do. But yeah, keep it short, keep it concise, keep it to very engaging language. Don't make people burn mental calories to work out how to take your quiz or to work out what answers they should tick. It can be thought-provoking, but they should be able to identify an answer quite quickly. There's nothing worse than the quiz where all of the answers are very, very similar. So actually it's like, well, I'm not sure which one's me really, unless it's going to be a tick all the boxes that apply kind of thing. But vary the questions as well. So have different styles of questions throughout your quiz, but it doesn't have to be all different. We want to try and keep some consistency there. So maybe you could have a couple of questions of pick which one of these is the most appropriate. You could have one question of tick all the boxes that apply. You could have a question with a sliding scale, or you could have a choose which picture is the most appropriate for you. There's lots of different types of questions that you can use, and certainly having more than one, or maybe a couple or 2 or 3 types of questions can help with that engagement and just make it more interesting for the people that are going through the quiz. And then in the background, what's happening is it's going through and it's adding up the score. So wherever you've built your quiz, it will be adding up a score in the background. And then they get a result. And ideally, you want to keep that all simple as well. Keep the scoring fairly simple if you can. Keep it to not too many outcomes. So the user, as far as they're concerned, they're getting a personalized outcome, but you may only have 3 or 4 outcomes that they could potentially end up in anyway. So especially if it's like a personality type quiz, sometimes you can have it where if it's a personality quiz about what dog are you, you could have 20% poodle, 10% Labrador or whatever. But those kind of quizzes are a lot more, or can be a lot more complicated to set up. So the more you can keep it as simple and streamlined, where actually I think this also helps with segmenting your audience as well. If you know that there are sort of definitive results that people need to land in, then you can adjust your scoring to that. So like with my pathway to website success, I know that people are in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or phase 4. So that I actually, when I have been designing my quiz, I've actually only got 3 outcomes. So it's phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. And if people are in phase 4, then they're not really where people that are coming in and taking a quiz like that on my website will end up really. So that's why I've decided to streamline mine. And that means I only have to create 3 outcomes and 3 sets of nurtured emails from that as well. So thinking about that, I did break my brain a little bit trying to work out the different combinations of scoring and the different possibilities around that. So I broke my brain so you don't have to. But yeah, once I kind of had worked through all that, I worked out actually it's going to be easier just to have these 3 segments and and building it that way, really. So try and keep it fairly simple in terms of the results that they get. But as far as they're concerned, it's very personalized, really. So you could then, within the results, what could you deliver? You could deliver things like the personality types. You could deliver things like product recommendations. You could deliver informational content. So if you've got if different content you can point them towards, you could use that. Or if you've got different blog posts or podcast episodes, you could then point them towards that, basically. And they will end up on a results page. And that result is going to help them to feel very understood and feel very valued as well, hopefully, that they think, yeah, this is me, that they've got me here. And it just, again, all that helps to increase the trust and helps to increase the authority of your brand as well. So once they've been through, and the last question, they've given us their email address, basically. So they have signed in to our email list, and you would ideally do that before you give them the quiz results. Not all quizzes work this way. Some quizzes are purely for engagement on a website. But ideally, if we're building our first quiz funnel, let's try and get some leads off the back of that as well. So you can give the results right there on the results page. And I think it is quite good to do that. There's nothing worse than going through a quiz, giving your email address, and then the email never turns up. And we all know it, like at the moment, especially delivery rates on emails and stuff going into spam is so much more common. So actually making sure that they do get the results of the quiz, even if they're going to get a lot more information from the email, if they get something that gives them that result, it's going to immediately give that trust across as well. One thing I've had recently with opt-in signups, which is a little bit off the side, but where you sign up for an email list because a e-commerce business is promising you 10% off your first order, and then that 10% off email never arrives or doesn't arrive in time for you to actually place that order. Whereas I think actually if you deliver that straight away, just immediately, you're delivering on what you promise, basically, regardless of whether your email platform or their email what's the word I'm looking for? Email provider, Gmail or whatever, is chucking your email into spam. At least you've delivered on what you said because they've got those results there on the page. But ideally, what you want on that page as well is something to encourage them to go and check their email. So you want to, at that point, say, look out for more tips, or if you've got something very specific that you've given them a result, but now for this, go over to your email and get this valuable part as well. And if you can get them to do it straight away, if you can encourage them to reply to you as well, then it makes a massive difference. They're much more likely to get the rest of the emails in your sequence if you can give them a quick and easy way to reply to you as well. So ideally, it would also be good for people to be sharing their results on social media, but you don't really want to do that directly from the results page, because we want to ideally keep them on our website, or at least get them over to their email list, their email platform, so that they open that email from you and they read it and they ideally reply. Whereas if you have that there on the results page of, share your results on Facebook, then they click on that and they're off on Facebook, and they're going to forget that they've even done that quiz, realistically, because they're going to be scrolling, they're going to see something that's going to take them down a rabbit hole, and they will forget everything about it and forget about the fact that they were going to get an email from you and it went into spam and they never hear from you again, essentially, as far as they're concerned. So I would definitely encourage to do that. So thinking about your results page just a bit strategically of, okay, what do I want to happen? How do I see this taking people through a journey with me? And then what you want to then do is follow up with very personalized emails. So depending on what their answers were to the questions, then you can then send them a nurture sequence of at least 3 emails if you can, ideally. So the first email is reinforcing what was on the results page, delivering the result again, and also hopefully delivering some more valuable information that's going to help them to keep interacting with your business. So if that is the best podcast episode for them to go and listen to, you could even develop a podcast playlist of your best episodes to go and listen to. Take them back to your website again. So don't send them off to your podcast platform, or your podcast hosting platform rather. send them back to your website, because again, it's in getting more traffic through to your website. They're going to go there. Hopefully, if you take them to a podcast episode playlist, or you take them through to a list of blog posts that could really help them, then they're going to stay there for a bit longer. It's going to all help to increase that interaction with your brand. So then email number 2 would be to increase the trust and awareness of your brand. So that's where you can maybe introduce yourself a little bit more, share maybe some case studies, maybe share some results that clients have had of work who've come in at that point, so that clients who've had the same results on their quiz as this person reading their emails, how you can then build that trust through that as well. And then if you've got other content that's the next step for them to take to go along that journey with you, then definitely recommend that to them as well. And then ideally email 3 would make some kind of offer. So having whatever relates to what they can buy from you that relates to what outcome they ended up in, then deliver that in email 3 if you can. And you could always build in other emails in the future. So if you want to then have a sequence of 10 or 12 emails, even if you want to, but within those first 3, ideally you want that thing of delivering the results, increasing the trust and awareness, and making some kind of offer, even if it is a very soft offer where it's in the PS. If you want to discover more, then check out my, I don't know, online course or whatever you're trying to sell. Check out this product or something like that. And then you can then build on that and make a longer nurture sequence as it goes, as you see how the quiz goes, as you see whether people are interacting with it and enjoying what you're delivering, really. Obviously, you would continue to nurture those people as well. So pop them onto hopefully your weekly newsletter. If they are in that quiz sequence, I probably would try and take them out of your weekly newsletter, unless they've already been on your list for a long time. And maybe even then, ideally, you want to keep them in that one sequence at a time. So maybe you would have a tag on if you've got a segment of your audience that is your subscribers to your newsletter, you would then exclude anyone who's in the quiz sequence at that point as well. So that's all down to tagging, and you don't have to do that, but it's just other ways to make sure that when people are getting those emails from you, it's a really streamlined and seamless interaction with your business, really. So there's lots of places you can find inspiration about quizzes, absolute ton of stuff out there, really. You can use AI to help you to come up with ideas and to brainstorm stuff around your quizzes. You can use Pinterest to find some ideas around designs. There's lots of Pinterest boards. Sorry, a big bird just landed on the windowsill outside and made me jump. You can use Pinterest boards. There's loads of design stuff on there, how to design the pop-up or how to design each page of the survey. And what kind of things to have on there. Definitely some great ideas there. Look at the quiz builder websites as well. There's lots and lots, an absolute ton of different websites where you can go and build your quiz, and they all have templates in there. And even if you don't go in and use that platform, if you look at it and you look at their templates, and they always look at the demos of the templates, and you can see some really, really good ideas there of just how to make it look beautiful, work well. Think about the things that you would like to interact with, but also that you think your audience would like to interact with as well. And look at your competitors' websites as well. They may have quizzes already, but they may also have things like frequently asked questions, or they might have a blog post that you think, oh, actually, that would be really good. Yeah, I'm going to create a quiz around that kind of topic. Look at the frequently asked questions on your own website. Think about if you go onto a Google search, what the people also ask questions showing up there. And there's lots of different ways that you can get ideas and inspiration for sort of quiz questions and quiz topics, and just generally about quizzes. And also look at Google Trends as well. So if you go into Google Trends and see something that's emerging in your industry, is there a way that you can create a quiz around that would help people to understand more about that emerging trend? That can be really, really good. So what do you need before you start? So you definitely need to understand about your audience. You need to understand about what you do for them and understand a little bit about them and what they want, really. So whenever I'm talking about websites, whenever I'm doing any web page walkthroughs or anything like that, it's always coming back to that thing of helping people understand what you do, how you're going to make their lives better, and what problems you solve, and obviously how they get it as well. So I would gather together all of the information about, like, at least some information about all of your freebies and all of your offers as well. And I probably put it into a Google Doc, Google Docs has now released tabs, which are amazing. If you haven't checked those out, then check those out. They're really good. But what that essentially can help you to do is build up a little database within a Google Doc of all of your offers, all of your free offers and all of your paid offers. And then you can feed that into an AI like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Notebook LM actually will be really, really good for this. Feed that in so that the AI understands all about all of the offers you have, all of the freebies you have, and that it can guide you on tying that in with the outcomes that you want to come to at the end of your quizzes. It's really good way to do it. So yeah, gather up all your information about what you sell and the free content that you have out there. And think about what you already know about your audience. If you've got an ideal client avatar document, obviously part of the goal of the quiz is to help you to understand your audience better. But what do you know about them already? So what challenges do they face? How can your product and service help them with overcoming those challenges? What content are they already interacting with? So either with your social media or with your Google Analytics and Google Search Console, what content is already aligning with your audience? And having some information about that can be really helpful when you're starting to think about what you want and need from this quiz, really. And also think about what the goal is with your quiz. Is it to build your email list? Is it purely to make sales? Is it to increase that engagement on your website? Because that will then direct which way you then end up creating your quiz, really. You need somewhere to build your quiz as well. And as I say, there are many, many quiz builders available, many software platforms where you can build your quiz. The majority of them are paid for any sort of decent functionality. You could essentially do it in a Google form, but it's not going to be very interactive. It's not going to be particularly fun for people to use, I think. I don't know, you would have to do a lot of fiddling about to try and get a Google form to work well in this kind of scenario, I think, really. So I use FBA Create, which is built on Go High Level. And in the Facebook group, the FBA Create Facebook group, there's been a lot of people asking, and the question does come up time and time again. A lot of people asking about how to build quizzes and can we build quiz funnels in FBA Create? And the answer is you can. So on the back end, on the Go High Level community, one of the features that's in progress is quiz funnels. And so I've kind of said to a few people, well, hold on, because hopefully quiz funnels is coming soon, but it's unlikely to come before the end of the year. And so that's part of the reason why I this week have been working on something exciting in my business, just to help people to be able to, if you're using FBA Create, FG funnels, anything that's built on High Level, then you can create an interactive quiz within the platform. So quiz building as an actual feature where it's got more functionality is in development. But when things do first come out, there's always bugs and things. So that was what made me think, actually, I want to get a quiz myself. I wanted to build one for my own business. So I wanted to help people to also be able to do that as well. So to take what I've learned from doing this myself and teach them how to do that and how to create the quiz itself, and also how to build it in FBA Create or FD Funnels or whatever platform you're using within Go High Level. So all that to say, I've got an exciting new course coming up. So it's going to help you to create and build your first quiz funnel. And I'll take you step by step through the process from coming up with ideas to the scoring, which as I said, almost broke my brain. So helping you around that to decide how you want to score the quiz, deciding what your outcomes are going to be, releasing and promoting your quiz and nurturing your participants. And most importantly, to me, using that quiz to help you to improve your SEO on your website as well. And I'll show you how to use AI tools to make it easier as well, including all the prompts that you're going to need to help you really connect with your audience and for it to sound just like you. So you can visit my website, the website successhub.com/quiz to find out more. So in conclusion, just to recap what we've covered today, quiz funnels are a fantastic way to increase your website's SEO and engagement, to grow your email list in a fun way, to segment your subscribers as well, so you can deliver more targeted messages and delivering the right message to the right people at the right time. And on average, quiz funnels deliver 40% more leads than other opt-ins. And I think they work for any kind of business. There's always going to be something you can create in some kind of quiz that, if having people within your database, in your email list, if that's going to help your business, then there's always some kind of quiz that you could create around that. So I hope you found this helpful, and have a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Website Success Show. If you're looking for a fun and effective way to attract leads and grow your business, it's time to think about quiz funnels. I'm excited to announce my upcoming course, which will guide you step by step in creating your own quiz funnel to connect with your audience and boost conversions. And here's a special offer just for you. Pre-order the course before it's released for just £27. That's a saving of £20 off the full price of £47. Don't miss out on this exclusive pre-release deal. Head to thewebsitesuccesshub.com/quiz. That's thewebsitesuccesshub.com/quiz to grab your spot now. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.